everybody, this is Dr. Carmen Bryant. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Thank you to all the new subscribers that has joined this tribe. Thank you so much for finding something valuable that I have to say that pertains to your life or your plan of escape, or maybe even your source of education or awareness. Thank you so much for all the questions. Thank you so much for all the emails. And I'm sorry I can't get back to everybody. My phone log is over full. I need to get an administrator to assist me. I have one that's coming to assist me with the backlogs of phone calls and emails. So I apologize. It is what it is, but I am grateful for you guys. So today let's talk about the one-sided relationship. So all of you know, and all of you can attest, that when you were in a relationship with a narcissist, now that you're aware of what you were dealing with, you know that you put into the relationship, they did not. Now, most people assume that because we're highlighting all the it's like coming in with a flashlight and you're highlighting all the things that you've been through in these relationships. Well, a lot of that you weren't aware of. A lot of that people don't know until you start pointing it out. So it may seem, and it's not every day that was a bad day with the narcissist, but when the bad days were bad days, they were bad days. They trauma, and some of them were violent. Some of you guys are like, she never put her hands on me. But it was a psychological abuse. Abuse is abuse, whether they put their hands on you or not. That's where most people get confused when they go to domestic violence training, or, well, I wasn't abused. Yes, you were abused. You were psychologically abused. You were used and abused. You were ignored. You were abandoned. You were ghosted. It wasn't a two-sided relationship. Anytime you get into a partnership, and I look at marriage as a partnership, as a contract, as a togetherness, a contract or a partnership where you got to have vision. Those of you that are Bible believers, I know everyone does not. I understand that everyone is not a Christian. Everybody does not believe in the Bible, but it does have good principles for those of you that don't. And some of you know, and all of us can agree that there's something diabolical about this individual, but it does say, write the vision and make it plain. That's a business plan. Write the vision and make it plain. The people perish for a lack of knowledge, and on top of that, where there's no vision, the people are just scattered. So think about it. Just by saying that alone, a business has to have a direction. The business have to have a direction, and most people won't give business loans, or you won't get contract if you don't have a business plan written somewhere where people can read to figure out what direction you're going. What are you trying to do with this business? If you're trying to grow it, how are you trying to grow? You can't just start a business and say, I'm going to do a business. What does your business entail? I don't know. I'm just going to do a business. I'm going to get a business degree and start a business. Okay, well, you got to have a plan. You got to write a plan down, and then you got to have a plan, okay, and goals. Okay, in 6 months, I want to accomplish this, and this many months and this year I want to be here, so there's a plan that goes along with that. Good businesses have good business plans. That's a vision. Well, a marriage is the same way. A partnership is the same way. It's not just about, oh, him cute, or ooh, she's so fine. She's not going to look like that forever. He's not going to look like that forever. You better go check the parents out. I'm telling you. And some of those parents, you better ask if they had plastic surgery, because they're not really what they used to be. So hopefully you get somebody with some good genes, because looks will fade. That's superficial. When a person is so fixed on your appearance and what you can do and how you sound and how you look, that's superficial. That is very superficial. It's the soul, it's the heart of an individual, but also it is the plan. You gotta have two people that have a plan. You don't want someone that's exactly like you, and that's what the narcissist does. They mirror you, so you end up falling in love with the attributes of yourself. You see yourself in them, and they reflect your attributes to you. Who you should like yourself, but you don't want someone that's exact. You want someone that's almost opposite to you. If I'm a business owner and I can run, I have a bit. Well, if I am a business owner, I have a private practice, and so I have clientele. I do assessments. I do I am the administrator. I do the billing. I do the contacts. I do the Social Security, this and that. I do all of that. But now I have an administrator coming in, and the administrator, of course, me and them will partner. They may not be interested in the counseling part. I can't, and I've heard them say, I can't do all that counseling. I'm not That's not my thing. But one thing that I can do, I'm a good organizer. I'm a good administrator. I have great people skills. I know when it comes to billing, but that's a partnership. And there's two opposites that attract. You have something that will help me to grow, and I have something that will help you to grow, and we're both going to be employed. Well, that's the same with a marriage. Your marriage or relationship should have a direction in which you should be going. There should be some type of plan or business plan or vision that your relationship has. This is what I have in mind for our relationship. I want kids at one point. I want to be able to put the kids in school and college. I want us to have a home. I want us to have rental properties so that when the kids get older, we have something to leave to them. I want to leave a legacy. I want to build a business. I want them to be able to take over in the business. Each one of the kids may have different skills. They may not be exactly interested in what you are interested in, but they may have different skill set. You may have someone that's in marketing, and I'm just hypothetical. You have one of your kids that's in marketing. You have one that's a dentist. You have another one that's an engineer. But you being the business minded, you're the CEO and the president of the company, and the assistant or the executive, you two are coming together to have a plan for your family, and you look at the skills of your children or the giftings in your children, and you cultivate that, and one day they'll fit in part of that business or that vision for your family. So there should be a vision. But most people that get into a relationship with a narcissist, they talk a good game, but they don't walk the walk. They talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. And that's why they connect with people all the time in order to this fake, they don't want to do the work. They like what you have, and that you put in the sweat, the tears, the hours of study, the building the business, the looking for the finances, looking for the contracts, sacrificing. I'm not going to buy this much groceries so I can buy this, so I can build this, and I can make this happen. I'm going to stay up all night to make. They don't want that sacrifice. They just want the fruits of your sacrifice. That is a narcissist. I had a conversation with someone, and I was telling them of my experience in the military. I'm always talking about my experience because that was my heart. Military was my heart. But I had a soldier, and we for a year we had special duties as the honor guard. So we would be televised. We would go and do the military honors and ceremonies. And I had different soldiers, awesome soldiers from different areas of the military. Administration. We had them from infantry. We had them from transportation. And this particular soldier happened to be one from the military police. And matter of fact, he's still a friend of mine on Facebook, but he was a military police officer when he was in the military. And so every time we went somewhere, because we traveled across the state, we even traveled to different states, but we traveled across the states, we got on airplanes, and we did ceremonies and honors and funerals and all sorts of stuff. And so I would ride with him in the van. We had an honor guard van. We would ride in the van, and everywhere we went, he always found an opportunity to commit a crime. He didn't do it, but he would always say, Sergeant, look at that car right there. See, all I have to do is this, that, this. Look at that house right there. Everywhere we went, it was always an opportunity to commit a crime, until one day I just looked at him and said, this don't make no sense. You are a military police officer. Why are you always trying to fit? You should be trying to save people and not try to commit crimes. And he said, Sergeant, see, that's where you misunderstand a good police officer. He said that in order to catch a criminal, you have to think like a criminal. He said the best police officers think like criminals. That's why there's so many police officers that go bad, because they're good at what they do, and they see how easy the opportunity is and how easy it is to manipulate people. Well, a narcissist thinks the same way. And the individual was talking to me and said, and I've said this before too, because I've experienced this before too, that the narcissist can walk in a room and they'll pick up on every detail in the room. All details, they pay attention, very meticulous at paying attention to people in the room, things in the room, just like the military police officer that I dealt with, that he was very meticulous and pick details that you would otherwise not pick, red flags that you would not otherwise see. The narcissist is able to pick up these details about people that you would otherwise not look at, because they're manipulators and they're always looking for opportunities to find supply, to get something from someone. So remember the Terminator? And every time you looked at someone, it like the computer system would scroll and tell them, give them history about the individual, and then let them know whether that's the target, that's not the target, boop, 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 and then move on. Well, that's the same way. Well, not literally, but that's the same way the narcissist is. They look at people, listen to them talk, look and see what they have, see if that's an easy prey. Believe it or not, narcissists don't, that's just like a lion. He understands how powerful he is, but he does size up his prey. I have yet to see, and it happens from time to time, but a lion really doesn't attack an elephant. That's just absurd. From time to time they do if they're hungry enough, but really you don't see lions really attacking elephants too much. They're too big of a prey that they size them up. This is too much of a hassle for me. This right here could cause me to be hurt. And a narcissist is the same way. Don't think that they go after every source of supply that's a possibly good source of supply. Some of them they've sized up, and they have already calculated the carnage or the damage or the narc injury that they can sustain from this particular type. That's why for some of them they take a very long time to study the prey to see whether it is worth their time and energy to go after. Now, the greater narcissist doesn't care. That's a challenge. They'll go after it because there is no limit for them. But the ones that are usually low to mid range, where they understand narc injuries, some of them won't come after you because some of you have gained knowledge. Some of you have and sustained enough damage yourself where you know how to sustain your own self. Not saying that they won't try you, not saying that you are not a target, but and having said all that, you have to understand that when they target you and get with you, it's all because they have their own vision in their head as to what they want. And so you have those that have depleted one source supply, and they've been exposed to a certain lifestyle. They've been exposed to the lifestyles of the rich. Remember that show, The Lifestyles of the Rich and the Famous? And they've been exposed to certain things. Their mind is always calculating at how can I get that? Now, you are a source that they have depleted. You can't take them to that level. So they're looking for someone else that can take them to that level. And they find someone that is gullible enough or innocent in their mind. When I say innocent, for some of you that have not healed, susceptible to accepting this type of trauma, they have to make sure that you're capable of handling the amount of pain that they're going to inflict. And that means for some of you, I've given everything. I've given my soul. I've given everything. I'm going to say this, but I'm going to say this with love. But I'm going to be straightforward with you because I was a stupid girl at one time too, because I didn't know. I had to learn. I had to grow. I had to learn from my mistakes. That's the stupidest thing that you can say. You should never give somebody all of you. There should be some reserved for yourself. Your time reserved for yourself. Everything doesn't belong to another person. It's a partnership. It's not. There's no such thing as 50-50 in a relationship, because sometimes the other person may have to cover you 100%, may have to cover you 70%, so it fluctuates depending, but it's a partnership where there's an understanding that, when it's up, it's up, when it's down, but we can fluctuate and work together as a team. A narcissist doesn't look like that. Once you go down, they look at you as, okay, now I have to find someone or something to bring me to that level. And so for you to say, I've given them everything, I've given my whole soul, that means you are a broken individual that knows nothing about yourself. And once they know that you've given everything, you are easily manipulated, and they'll do it from time and time again. They'll keep coming in and out of your life to totally destroy you, to a point where people have committed suicide. It is a one-sided relationship. You have to find another person that's going to meet you halfway, and sometimes meet you more. If I'm going to give, will you give back to me? And it's you have to get to know it. Sex should not be the first thing on your mind. Well, girl, I got needs. Okay, well, you need to put your needs on hold. That's the problem right there. If you can't put your needs on hold, meaning your sexual desire, your sexual needs, is called temperance. It's called self-control. And you need to focus on yourself. If this is the type of relationship you've been getting in, look at what you've been making a mistake at. You should never just give someone sex. That's pearls. Those are jewels, men and female alike. For men, it's like, shoot, I'll hit it and go. That's the problem. And most women are like, there's no attachments, it's just, it is what it is. No, females get attached very quick, because we are in the emotional, and men understand that. Now, I'm not saying men that are narcissists. Yeah, the narcissists understand that, but even the men without narcissism understand that it is an emotional thing when it comes to females. It's what I say to you, how I treat you, how I act to get you to do what I want you to do. If I want sex, I know what to do. Buy you dinner, give you compliments. Now, that's a simple woman. You guys should not be that simple, and think about it. For a man, it doesn't take very much to appease him. It doesn't take very much to stimulate him. He's a man. He's got an outie. We got an innie. But ours is in the head. You have to stimulate our minds in order to stimulate our bodies. Now, I'm not talking about I'm not saying us anymore. I'm not talking about a dumb woman that just gives her body up all the time, because a dumb woman who gives her body up all the time, you think that your body is going to hold a man, or you think that your sex and your sex appeal is going to hold a man. There's so much more to a man than just sex. Now, for some of the brothers like, whoa, Carmen, you're going too far. You're telling all our business. I'm is telling all your business. But a man that has value, a man that is honorable, a man that is respectable, and that wants a relationship, is willing to invest in you as a woman, even to a point where they'll tell you, I'm reserving sex for marriage as well. Or, and if that's your belief system, I'm reserving that part of intimacy because I want us to get to know each other. I want to see if we can fit in this partnership. I want to see, and a smart man, a wise man knows how to put that woman in place. No, I want to know your mind. I don't want to know your body. I want to know your mind. I want to know whether you can read or write, or you've been eating the papers. Because if you've been eating the papers, you can't help me grow my business. And there are so many women that are frustrated because the narcissist doesn't have a vision. They have a personal vision for themselves. Get, take, take all your money, get what I got, try to manipulate you to get my hands on this. They got their own vision, but a lot of women become so frustrated because they can't lead you. In the military, I couldn't follow leaders that weren't going anywhere. I could not follow leaders that did not know where they were going. You can't give me advice, and you don't even take your own advice. You can't give me advice because you don't know where you're going. How am I supposed to follow you? You don't know where you're going. And then I end up having to take charge, and you're the leader. And that's just like within a relationship. A lot of times women get really frustrated. And in this situation, I'm talking about the heterosexual relationship. Remember, to my LGBTQ community, I don't really understand the structure of the relationships. I have to learn that. So I really don't understand the structure, the hierarchy, how the relationships work. So, my apologies for my ignorance on that. But I'm referring more to the heterosexual relationships. And you just have to take the information and apply it to how you apply it. I'm not sure how it's applied, but you apply it to your understanding of relationships within the LGBTQ community. Okay. But in the heterosexual relationships, a woman, we don't mind following if you know where you're going. But if you don't know where you're going, a woman has the tendency, we'll take charge. If brother, can you come and, take this battery out my car? And if you take too long, we have the tendency, I'll take it. I got you, boo. I got you. And take the battery out ourselves. We'll take the whole engine out. But women, you might be strong. That's emasculating a man. You got to let him feel, strong. When you got a woman that's always trying to dominate a man, narcissistic women especially, you got a woman that's always trying to dominate and emasculate a man, that man withdraws. He's not interested. He's not even sexually interested anymore. He's turned off. His button is off. His mind is off. He's not connected with a woman, especially those narcissistic women. And men, you have to remember, I always say, plan your escape. Plan your escape. Remember, there are legal rights for you and the women and the men. There are legal rights. You can't jump up and, there are laws that protect you guys as couples, married couples, properties, children. Plan your escape. But men, you should not be tolerating this. You should never tolerate a woman dominating and controlling you. That is a one-sided. You don't get in a relationship to control another person. Women, the same way. Men, you got to be going somewhere for us to follow you. You got to be going somewhere. A lot of men get frustrated because the woman is not supporting their ideas and their vision. But you got to have we like stability. So you got to have a good foundation. You have a good vision, a good plan where you can look at this woman as a leader, look at this woman and see where she plays a role in you two growing. That doesn't mean crush her dreams. That doesn't mean she has to stop her dreams. Her dreams will fit in with your dreams and it'll complement each other. other. You see what I mean? And then ladies, men get frustrated with a woman trying to control them, whether narcissist or not narcissist. So it is a partnership. It is a partnership in a relationship. It takes two people to make a business run. It takes two people to make a partnership run. That's just like an investment. When you are when you are investing in an IRA or a retirement plan, a lot of times your company will match your contribution. They put in a certain percentage and you put in a certain percentage, and then you have a retirement to cover you, after you retire. Well, that's the same way within relationship. It is an investment. It is that's why some of you are jumping into these relationships and you don't understand what you've jumped into. You don't. You just want to be with someone. You just want to go to the moon. I don't want to be lonely. Your loneliness is internal. Once you're not lonely internal, like someone said, and perfectly, so I wish I would have just brought the other telephone in here to read the comment. But but the longer you get to know yourself, the higher your boundaries and your standards are, the less likely it is for someone to step over your boundaries or step over, because you know that your standards are very high. You won't just take Jack Black with one eye and one tooth. You just won't take Dolly Molly that's got one leg and a fluff of hair up underneath her wig, and she ain't got no teeth at all, so but that's why it's a one-sided relationship when you're in a relationship with a narcissist. It's not a real relationship. They have ulterior motives, and when you make the comment that I've given everything, you need to back up and you need to get help, because you should have never given everything. There's no relationship that is worth giving everything. I've done everything. You've done everything for him. Well, that means he was lazy. He couldn't do nothing for you or nothing for himself. He was lazy. He used you and he trauma bonded you, and you are now addicted. It's just like a drug addict. Now you need to get counseling because you need to work on your addiction. It's the most painful thing you'll ever work on. And this is to one of the subscribers or one of the Facebook comments that was made, and I'm just letting you know. But I thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys so much. And I apologize for the late upload of the video. I don't know what was happening. I don't know what was going on with the connection. I was trying to upload. It took me 3 or 4 attempts. I woke up this morning and it still hadn't uploaded. So it finally uploaded this morning. And then here I am making another video. So you get 2 in 1. So I appreciate you guys. I thank you so much for being here. If you have not already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It is Dr. Carmen Bryant, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Hit the bell so you know whenever I upload videos. I come on live on Sundays at 8-9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, West Coast time. I also have 2 Facebook pages, which is one is my professional psychological health consultants and services. The other one is Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. It has my book cover on it. And make sure you hit the like, because I do upload on all 3 of them. And if you haven't ordered my book already, go look at the link below the video on YouTube. It is at Amazon and Barnes & Noble. It is Unmasking the Illusion of Perfection. You guys stay tuned. I've got some equipment now. I'm getting some equipment in. I'm getting a lapel. I'm getting my lapel and my microphone together so that I'm just working on my computer. But I'm getting the microphones together so that we can start doing the podcast and I can actually do the book for you guys. And you can purchase the book. Well, you actually, if you do, podcasts, either one, you can purchase the Audible podcast where I can read the book to you. So it'll be in my voice. You get to hear me read the book. I don't need a voice actor. I do it myself. And on top of that, you can order at Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can get a Kindle, ebook, hardback, or soft copy. And make sure you share. Make sure you're sharing with the teenagers to get them the knowledge now while they're young, so they don't have to go through some of the stuff that we went through, and now we're recovering from what we went through and we could have learned a long time ago. You interject this information and you teach them, trust you me, some of them are going through it. And the thing about it is that whoever they're going through it with, if they do have narcissism, it may have not elevated to where you guys have experienced it as adults, so you can still teach them and provide them with knowledge. Make them knowledge is power, and teach them now. My book is a simple read. It is a Christian book because it gives you encouragement through scriptures. However, it's the principles. Excuse me, you guys, my nose is itching. But it gives you principles. Take the principles. Those of you that don't believe in Jesus Christ, no problem. Take the principles out of the book. These are real stories of real people. What they were thinking, what they went through in in childhood, what their fathers have told. A lot of them were women, how these women treated their husbands, how they treated their little boys, what they were thinking, even to a point where they wanted to kill someone, some of the abuse that the children were going through, and they were afraid to protect the kids. Business women, different people of different stature, but and a different bit, but you get to see what they were thinking and what they were taught and how they were manipulated and groomed to think the way that they thought. And it does give some Christian encouragement, what the scriptures say about who you are and your strengths. So just take the principles out of it. But these are real stories of real people. So for those of you that are asking, are these people real? Those people real. Their names have been changed. They're real people with real stories and real experiences. And I promise you, you will find yourself in the book. It's an easy read and it's a quick read. Some people said they were reading the book over and over to keep themselves encouraged. And so I so appreciate it. Thank you so much. And thank you guys once again. I'll be back tomorrow. You guys stay tuned. Hopefully this video uploads a little quicker. Well, by the time you see it, it's already uploaded. So I thank you guys. I thank you guys with all my heart. I love this tribe. You guys go and be great.